Shalom. I want to start this video as always by giving all glory, honor, and thanks to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son for this wisdom and knowledge. That is Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Havarkah Kodash, as well as the double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone, whom I learned this truth from, and a shalom to the rest of the elders in Akim around the globe, bringing this word out within sincerity, truth, and diligence. And I got this from the page on YouTube from the Prophets in Babylon camp down in Tampa, and it shows exactly where America is. Esau is cornered. The Lord has checkmated all his moves. No matter what he does, he's stuck in a rock and a hard place, and this is the end of his kingdom. So you see, he got four options on the screen: to go to war with Russia, to go to war with Iran, war with China, and then war in his own kingdom, in his own state, in his own backyard with Texas. So if he does nothing, it's gonna pop off. If he does something, it's still gonna be the wrong move. So there's plenty of prophetic precepts I can pull up to speak on this. First, I'm gonna start on how this dude he can't keep at home. Esau all the way over here in North America, yet he's over there in Ukraine. He's over there in Iran. He's over there in Taiwan. He's all in these places he ain't got no business being, but that's him. It says Micah 2, the second chapter, that he covets the fields and takes them by violence. And also in Habakkuk, the second chapter, it speaks on the behavior of this beast-like man as well. Habakkuk 2 verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, talking about philosophies, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. And that's, pause real quick, that's really what made me bring this out. He's over there in all these other lands, and these other nations are getting sick of this dude. They're getting tired of it, because it ain't the days where Esau was the only one with nuclear missiles. Now everyone holding on them missiles too. So and they're also viewing these other nations, these other kingdoms, these other kings are viewing what's going on in society here in Babylon the Great America, and they can tell that this place is weak. The military's weak, the men are weak. It speaks on that the soldiers let me get that while I'm at it. But real quick, go back to that. Mighty men Babylon, that just hit me in the spirit too. They have forborne to fight. There we go. This is going to be Jeremiah 51 verse 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. And you got these letter T's and a whole bunch of your alphabet gang all up in your military. These effeminized men, since you spent so much time and energy bitching up your society, and now you want to go and turn around and continue these wars. Well, your military ain't big and bad as it used to be. And they done seen the scriptures speak on how the Lord hates a man of war that suffereth poverty. They done seen how you treated all your veterans, your Vietnam veterans, homeless in the street, missing limbs. I've spoken to a couple veterans recently who talk about they despise the VA. I was listening to a comedy special yesterday. The guy was saying, going in on these veterans supposed to have free taxes. They supposed to go to any hospital there is, but Esau treats his veterans that fought your little banker wars like dog shit and like pawns, like tools. So that's another thing. Your military is short in number and it's getting stretched thin. So continuing on, Habakkuk 2 verse 5, let's start again. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Okay. Let's try to make this short. I'm going to skip down to verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them, which is a spoil, because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, for the violence of the land of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth in evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. And it speaks on Esau setting his nest amongst the stars, flying as the eagle. So Esau's also represented America, Babylon the Great, his New Roman Empire represented as the eagle, and in Obadiah he exalts himself, and it's woe unto him, destruction unto him. Continuing verse 10, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity. Okay, so America was built up by the slaughter of the Lord's chosen people, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And thus with great violence shall that city Babylon be thrown down. The Lord, you done built your kingdom, and not only built up America and oppressed Jake to build up America, you then further oppressed and bullied the rest of these nations, and now you looking weak. The bully's looking weak, and these other nations about to run up on you, and you not gonna have the muscle, the manpower to stop the judgment that's come onto you. Revelation 11 verse 14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And these four buttons, or these three buttons to the left you see, are the ingredients for the third woe, the World War III. And on top of that, when you have World War III, you also gonna have America imploding from the inside in a state of civil war. So all the ingredients for all out hell and Jacob's trouble is right here. Another description on how this third woe is going to be fought. Isaiah 9 verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. This third woe is going to be a very quick war, because it's going to be fought with missiles. Them nuclear missiles, soon as that touches down, it's over. It's not the good old days with swords or tanks. This is going to be a very bloody war with those missiles. And these other nations that Esau got no business, but this is, like it says, he can't keep it at home. He's got to stick his nose in all these lands and try to oppress and grape other lands of their resources as well. They're going to be, these other smaller countries are going to drag America into this third woe. And I typed least of the flock. And in Jeremiah 49:20, as well as Jeremiah 50:45, it speaks on this. I'll read from 50 verse 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And the Chaldeans is talking about you elites. You know, the America is basically run by Israel, where them fakers over there are defiling the land. Well, Israel and Iran currently have smoke, and when Iran it pops off, America, Babylon the Great America, is going to have to back Israel, and Russia is going to back Iran. Russia speaks in Ezekiel the 38th chapter, and we'll get that later as well, that Russia is going to be a guard unto these nations. So you know, you Taiwan, whatever happens with Taiwan, China's gonna run up and be right there. Whatever happens, we're seeing what's going on in Ukraine. Russia's right there behind it. So sooner or later, they just gonna start aiming at Babylon the Great America. Okay, and let's speak on Russia, because Russia is prophesied to be the main opposition of Babylon the Great America, and completely smoke this place, as long as plenty other nations, to destruction, to a barren desert wasteland, a post-apocalyptic wasteland, starting with Russia, the main opposition right now against Babylon the Great America. Staying in Jeremiah the 50th chapter, verse 9, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows, talking about those nuclear missiles, shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And Chaldea, again speaking on the elites of Esau, shall be a spoil, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land, a desert. Because of the wrath of the Lord it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Okay, and Babylon the Great America done got fat and rich off destroying the Lord's chosen people, taking the lands of the northern kingdom, so-called Hispanics and Native Americans, indigenous, and then dragging the southern kingdom, as well as some of the other northern kingdom tribes, over here by way of ships, and further oppressing us and getting rich off of our labor. You gonna get taken down. You put us in slavery, well, first the Lord's gonna take your kingdom down and then put you in slavery after it gets blown away by them nukes. Okay, and your mother, that's talking about the England, UK, that's where, these Edomites came out of. It speaks on that. The beast shall hate the whore. It's going to, a lot of these nations over in Europe are going to turn on America too, because every time they end up linking up with America, some dumb shit ends up going down. Okay, and these other countries are getting tired of all the wickedness that's coming from Babylon the Great America. So even your allies, it speaks on that in Obadiah, are going to turn on you as well. America is cornered on all sides. Let's go back to this picture. Okay, further on, one last on Russia, which could be labeled or worded as the bear, the Medes, the North Country. Russia is going to be the main antagonist and fire those arrows, those missiles of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai's indignation on Babylon the Great America. Isaiah 13 verse 17, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. As for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. So once again, World War III, this is like in a NBA or a baseball game. This is a series. This is the last war. This is a game 7, and it's going to end really bad for Babylon the Great America. And not only America is going to get nuked to smithereens, but you so-called you Russians over there too. Y'all gonna get put, all you nations are going to get put in chains under the rule of Yahweh Shai once this place goes down. There's going to be no more wars. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to set up a kingdom of righteousness, and the world will finally be at peace. But we got to go through this last final third woe to get to that, and as well as Jacob's trouble, which is going to touch down it's chiefly here in Babylon the Great, America. And speaking on that, let's go highlight this war with Texas, because right now you have all these people, a lot of men too, a lot of able-bodied men in their youth, in their 20s and 30s, coming through, walking right through the border. This is basically a Trojan horse, and some of those men are soldiers from these other lands, and in a civil war, and all these what's the word? All these movies, dystopian, Salakia, all these dystopian futuristic movies show Texas seceding from America and causing a civil war. And a lot of these other states are aligned with Texas, as well as we have a Civil War 24 movie coming out, I believe, this April. So the spirit of division is amongst this place, and it's never been more tension with this up and coming election. Lord willing, we don't see an election, and the place starts to rapidly spiral into chaos. Satan divided. So Matthew 12:26, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Satan talking about you so-called white people in your kingdom. You are divided against each other. A house that's divided can't stand. Mark 3:26, and if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. And we are seeing this is all the ingredients to your end, Esau. So wada Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Okay, and let's close off speaking on that border crisis as well, because I touched on Ezekiel the 38th chapter. It speaks on this in the 11th verse. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates. Talking about here in America. You got all these people just coming right through your air quote, your so-called border, which is a joke. There's videos on YouTube right now of people just flooding through the border, and a lot of those are sleeper cells. Because Esau Edom, his military is stretched so thin, when shit pops off here in America, he's going to use foreign troops to establish some type of order, and they not going to have no type of pity. Because he knows if he used American troops to gun his own citizens down, a lot of them wouldn't be with it. So he's going to activate these sleeper cells, and they going to get busy here when martial law gets declared. That's what Esau, his end goal. He wants all out chaos. He wants order out of chaos. And that's when Jacob's trouble really going to pop off. Let's close off on this. 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, verse 14. We'll go 14 through 19. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. The modern day swords, these guns. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and lack of their goods, sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. So it's going to be a famine of the word. People, the Lord is going to get rid of the prophets speaking the true doctrine of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai on the streets. There's going to be a famine of food and of bread. There's going to be a famine of police. These police are going to see the violence, and they're going to say, fuck this. And that's when Esau's going to have his martial law troops up in the streets, and it's going to be all out hell. Meanwhile, there's going to be that third woe. Esau going to be drafting people to go die in the valley of Jehoshaphat over in the so-called Middle East, Western Asia, where this third woe is going to really pop off. And as well as you going to have other soldiers in other nations right here. They already here in Babylon the Great. So this is a checkmate for you, Esau. No matter what you do, it's a wrap for you. And Lord willing, us brethren in this truth be saved out of it, because this is a recipe for all out hell. And like the brother put, it's just a matter of time. I hope this was edifying. Shalom.